My name is Haley Black, and I will be discussing my community art collaboration project titled Intergenerational Arts Education. This community art collaboration project aims to connect students with senior citizens to collectively participate within the Saskatchewan arts education curriculum, as well as create intergenerational relationships, both of which can help to deter Alzheimer's and other dementias, encourage diverse social inclusion, and lessen the generation gap. What first drew me towards art education was the ideology that through exploring, understanding, and demonstrating their knowledge through a variety of artistic mediums, students are able to develop skills that will assist them throughout their schooling career and beyond. For example, through actively and openly participating within arts education, students will develop skills such as positive self-reflection, perseverance, problem-solving, and abstract thinking. Therefore, I consider what brought me towards education actively reflects my arts education philosophy. Within arts education, students should be challenged and supported throughout their individual creation process, understanding that process over product is the overall learning goal, all within a welcoming, creative, and safe classroom environment. My main accomplishment that I hope is created through this project is that students will understand that the purpose of arts education is not to just look at and create art, but to create connections between art, others, and themselves to better their communities. For the senior citizens, I hope that they not only recognize the benefits of art therapy, but that they feel deeply connected to, respected, and seen within their community, as oftentimes our senior citizens feel forgotten about and undervalued within our society. Furthermore, I hope that through this intergenerational arts education project, students are not only inspired by something that I teach them, but instead become inspired through the intergenerational relationships that they create, as these connections are one of the most important and beneficial learning experiences that they could possibly partake in. For those of you that don't know, Alzheimer's is a disease that is an irreversible, progressive brain disorder that slowly destroys memory and thinking skills, and eventually the ability to carry out the simplest tasks. People with Alzheimer's not only experience the loss of memory, but also experience the loss of behavioral and bodily functions, deteriorating personal relationships, and a sense of who they are as a person. I believe that author Ruth Abraham provides an accurate description of Alzheimer's, in which the story of Alzheimer's disease is one of increasing loss that finally damns the patient to complete helplessness after the breakdown of mental and bodily functions. In December of 2019, it was estimated that 20,000 people within Saskatchewan live with Alzheimer's and other dementias. It is further estimated that by the year 2038, 28,000 Saskatchewan residents will have Alzheimer's and other related dementias. Based on this data alone, it becomes apparent that people with Alzheimer's are a significant population within our province. Therefore, I believe that it becomes important that we understand the negative experiences that people with Alzheimer's and other dementias go through every day, and thus begin to consider how our population of young children can help lessen and potentially reverse these negative experiences. Research has shown a positive correlation between participating in artistic practices and increased cognitive health, which can help prevent Alzheimer's and other dementias before they even begin. A study published in Neurology observed 256 senior citizens ages 85 to 89 for 4 years and determined that those who participated in artistic practices and exercised their artistic brain muscles were 73% less likely to develop cognitive impairments. According to Barbara Bagan, PhD, neurological research shows that making art can improve cognitive functions by producing both new neural pathways and thicker, stronger dendrites. Participating in artistic practices also provides those living with Alzheimer's and other dementias the opportunity to express their thoughts, emotions, and memories through expressive mediums other than spoken and written word. Being given this expressive freedom decreases anxiety, stress, depression, and can even help regulate blood pressure. In regards to our students, participating in programs that help to develop and maintain relationships with an older generation help to decrease the generation gap, as well as help foster positive perceptions towards the elderly community. According to Mark and Craig Kielberger, students who participate in programs that develop intergenerational relationships learn more about diversity, community, and social inclusion by meeting people of different ages. Furthermore, students who develop intergenerational relationships are more likely to do well in school and have a lesser chance of dropping out. In regards to senior citizens, those who develop intergenerational relationships with children are less likely to develop depression and dementias, as well as burn more calories, experience fewer falls, and retain better memory skills. Therefore, to ensure that both students and senior citizens are participating within artistic development and understanding, as well as creating intergenerational relationships, I'm proposing that arts education happen outside of the classroom and instead happen within a Saskatchewan senior care home. The Intergenerational Arts Education Project begins in September and ends in June and takes place with a Grade 6 classroom collaboration. Throughout the year, students and the senior citizens will participate in arts education together 2 times a week for 2-hour periods. These periods ensure that students are receiving the required 200 minutes per week of arts education that is required within the Saskatchewan curriculum, and that adequate time is given to develop connections between student-senior citizen partnerships. During these arts education periods, students and senior citizens will create individualized arts education projects, and the projects will be created through the 4 main strands of arts education within the Saskatchewan curriculum: dance, drama, music, and visual arts. By working through the 4 main strands, students and senior citizens will have opportunities to create and produce, critically respond to, and culturally and historically understand the artistic history within First Nations, Métis, and Inuit, Saskatchewan, and Canadian landscapes. Furthermore, by participating within the 4 main strands of arts education, students and senior citizens are individually and collaboratively working through the Grade 6 Saskatchewan arts education curriculum outcomes, which are taught and facilitated by an arts education teacher. Throughout the project, students and senior citizens will work with a variety of Saskatchewan artists, including Pat Bliss, Brenda Bennett, Eric Pecco, and Graham Kent, and be given the opportunity to explore artistic creativity and representation through a variety of artistic mediums. Halfway through the project, students and senior citizens will have the opportunity to tour the Remy Modern, which will help create real-world understandings about the influences and importance of art. Throughout the project, students will also be given work periods within the classroom to reflect upon their experiences and understandings that are developed throughout the project through sketchbook representations, which can include writing, pictures, drawings, collages, and more. In September, before students enter the Saskatchewan Senior Care Home, a representative from the Alzheimer's Society of Saskatchewan will teach students about Alzheimer's and other dementias. This will allow students to learn about a difficult subject in a controlled classroom setting and allow them to ask any questions they may have. Students will also learn about art therapy from Emily Hammer of Sunrise Art Therapy in Saskatoon. Through Emily Hammer, students will learn about the positive effects of art therapy, who can benefit from art therapy, and learn some basic understandings about art therapy and its impact on Alzheimer's disease. Emily Hammer will also observe and lead specific classes throughout the project, allowing both students and senior citizens the opportunity to experience art therapy in real-world contexts. In October, once students have completed in-class learning, the first 2 class periods within the senior care home will be used to introduce students and senior citizens to their first arts education partner. In each partnership, students and the senior citizens will complete a variety of projects, which could include creating representations and understandings of identity through dance, drama, and visual arts, gaining and developing musical instrument skills, and developing understanding about cultural influences within art expressions. Each partnership will last approximately 3 months, October to December, January to March, and April to June, and at the end of each partnership, artwork will be chosen to be represented within our end-of-year art gallery showcase, which will happen at GCU Place. At this showcase, students, the senior citizens, school board members, families, and friends will be invited to view and discuss the artwork that was produced throughout the program, as well as be given the opportunity to listen to students and their senior citizen partners speak about their experiences and positive impacts that were developed throughout the program. The artists within the art gallery showcase will be given the opportunity to have the artwork silently auctioned, with the proceeds going towards the Alzheimer's Society of Saskatchewan and their efforts towards ending Alzheimer's and other dementias. It is through these experiences of arts education and the development of intergenerational relationships that we hope students become inspired to share their artworks within their greater community, as they will be able to attest to the positive impacts that this interconnection has created for a variety of people of all ages. For the Intergenerational Arts Education Program, potential program funding could come from the Saskatchewan Arts Board in a monetary amount of $1,000 to $10,000 through their Artists in Communities Microdevelopment and Artists in Communities Projects grants. The Intergenerational Arts Education Program has partnerships with the Alzheimer's Society of Saskatchewan, Brenda's School of Baton and Dance, Long and McQuaid Musical Instruments, Remy Modern, Saskatoon Persephone Theatre, Saskatoon Symphony Orchestra, and Sunrise Art Therapy. The total cost to implement the Intergenerational Arts Education Program would be $24,187.40. Therefore, I am asking for approximately $25,000 in funding. Thank you for listening to my presentation for the Intergenerational Arts Education Program. I hope that you can see the positive benefits and experiences that can be created throughout the program for a variety of people for numerous ages, and thus are willing to provide the funding that is needed to implement such an impactful program into our communities within Saskatoon.